There is a 22-year-old in Austin, Texas right now working 2 jobs, posting on LinkedIn about productivity habits, and eating at home 5 days a week to save money. He is doing everything right, everything the personal finance internet told him to do. He tracks his spending, he avoids the coffee shops, he is trying. And then one morning he wakes up with chest pain. He waits 3 days to go in because he does not want to pay the bill. By the time he goes to urgent care, he owes $400. The urgent care sends him to the ER. That is another $2,000. The ER refers him to a specialist. That is another $600. His insurance, which he chose because it was the cheapest option available, covers almost none of it because he has not hit his deductible yet. $6,000 gone in 2 weeks for a pulled muscle. He had done nothing wrong. He had made all the standard good person financial decisions, and one random Tuesday dismantled 8 months of work. So, here is the question I actually want to answer. Why is getting sick in this country specifically devastating for your generation in a way it was not quite as catastrophic for the ones before you? Because it is not just expensive, every generation has complained about healthcare being expensive. The answer is more specific than that, and it has to do with timing, with structural traps, and with a machine that was designed for someone else. We are going to explain exactly how that machine works and why it is getting weirder. Think about a vending machine, classic metaphor, but bear with me because I am going to use it for everything in this video. You put money in, you press the button, ideally you get what you paid for. That is the deal, that is the social contract. Now, imagine a vending machine where you have to pay a monthly fee just to stand in front of it. Then when you press the button, there is a chance it keeps your money and gives you nothing because you have not yet deposited enough money this calendar year to unlock the actual dispensing mechanism. And even after you unlock it, the machine might only give you 70% of what you paid for. And if you press the wrong button, or press it at the wrong machine, even by accident, you pay full price with 0 discount. That is health insurance in this country for someone in their early 20s. I am going to use this vending machine the whole way through because it captures something real about the structure of this thing. It is not charity. It is not protection in the traditional sense. It is a pay-to-access system with a lot of built-in friction points that happen to cost you money. Friction that, if you do not understand it, destroys you financially at the exact moment you are most financially fragile. Let me give you the actual landscape first because most people have no idea how bad the numbers are. The average cost of health insurance in 2026 for an adult on a silver tier plan is $687 per month. That is the clears throat standard plan, not the good one. The middle tier one. At age 18, the average cost of that plan is $538 per month. So, the second you age off your parents' coverage at 26 and you try to buy your own plan, you are looking at roughly $6,000 a year before you use it a single time. That is before deductibles, before co-pays, before anything actually happens to your body. Now, here is where it gets interesting. There are an estimated 3.6 million young adults projected to be uninsured in 2025, representing an uninsured rate of 11.3%. Young adults between 18 and 24 are more likely to be uninsured than any other age group. So, what is happening? The people who most need that vending machine to be affordable are the exact people opting out of it. And here is the thing, I do not blame them. Rationally, if you are 22 making $36,000 a year and the insurance plan costs you $538 a month, that is about 18% of your gross monthly income on a plan you probably will not use that year. For a healthy 22-year-old, that calculus feels reasonable. And that feeling is exactly what breaks people. Young adults currently face the highest uninsured rates of any demographic group, sitting at 14.1% uninsured with 63.2% citing cost as the main barrier. So, it is not that young people are reckless. It is that the pricing of the vending machine is so misaligned with young people's cash flow that opting out feels like the smart move until it is not. Now, let me tell you about something that happened at the structural level recently because this is where it gets darker. Enhanced ACA premium subsidies expired on December 31, 2025. Without action, 22 million Americans who relied on those enhanced premium tax credits face premium increases averaging 114% starting in 2026. 114%, that is not a typo. The Congressional Budget Office projected 3.8 million people would lose coverage annually as a result. And what actually happened? About 14% of ACA enrollees failed to make their January 2026 payments after premiums increased. So, right now, as you are watching this video, millions of people who had insurance 6 months ago do not have it anymore. Not because they decided to gamble, not because they were irresponsible, but because the machine raised its own prices overnight and they could not keep up. You think the problem is that people do not value their health, but actually the problem is that the system's price structure guarantees a predictable percentage of people will get priced out every time costs go up. This is not a failure of the system, this is what the system does. Let me show you the second layer of this, because this is where it stops being just a money problem and starts being a wealth-building killer. The vending machine does not just cost money when you stand in front of it. It costs money even after you feed it enough to unlock the mechanism. Here is what I mean. Say you are 23, you get a job, you sign up for your employer's health plan. According to the annual KFF Employer Benefits Survey, employer-based coverage averages $8,951 a year for a single person, of which the employee pays an average of $1,368. Okay, that is actually not that bad. You are paying $1,368 out of pocket per year in premiums. Your employer covers the rest. That sounds reasonable, but here is what people miss. That plan almost always comes with a deductible. Some plans, like high deductible options, have deductibles around $9,450, so you are paying $1,368 a year in premiums, and you have to spend another $9,450 out of pocket before the insurance actually covers most of your care. The vending machine took your monthly fee. The button still does not fully work until you have deposited nearly $10,000 more in the same calendar year. Think about what that means for someone 23 years old making $40,000. Their take-home after taxes is maybe $28,000. Their rent in a mid-tier city is $14,000. Utilities, food, transportation, the basics, call it another $8,000. They have maybe $6,000 of actual breathing room per year. A bad health event, even with insurance, can devour their entire financial surplus. Not partially, entirely, and in many cases beyond it. That is not a healthcare problem. That is a compounding problem. Because every year that surplus is zeroed out by medical costs is a year when nothing goes into savings. Nothing goes into investing. Nothing builds. The vending machine does not just take your cash in the moment. It steals your compounding window. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but most 23-year-olds do not have catastrophic health events. You would be mostly right, but the data on what actually triggers medical debt is uncomfortable. Unlike other debts, medical debts are usually unplanned. 2/3 of medical debts result from a one-time or short-term medical expense arising from acute healthcare needs. So, it is not people with chronic conditions running up multi-year bills. It is people who broke a bone, had an appendix situation, went to the ER with symptoms they did not recognize. A single event, that is it. One event, random, that you had no way of predicting, and your financial position for the next 18 months changes completely. The latest data suggests that nearly 100 million adults in the United States are saddled with medical debt ranging from under $500 to over $5,000. 100 million, that is almost a third of the country. And here is the generational angle. A poll by Talker Research revealed that Gen Z carries the highest average personal debt of any generation at $94,101, above millennials at $59,181, and Gen the 10th at $53,255. Gen Z is entering adulthood with more total debt than any generation before them. And that debt is not purely student loans, which everyone likes to talk about. It includes medical debt, which no one really wants to talk about because it is unsexy and depressing, and it does not fit neatly into the narrative of personal responsibility. Nearly 1 in 5 young adults aged 18 to 19 reported that they needed to borrow money to pay for health care. 18 and 19-year-olds borrowing money for health care, not for a house, not for a car, for a doctor's visit. This is a good time to explain the 3 levels of how the vending machine traps you. To be precise here, because most people only see level 1. Level 1 is the obvious trap. You do not have insurance, or you have cheap insurance, something goes wrong, you get a bill you cannot pay, you ignore it or put it on a credit card. Visible, painful, recoverable with time. Level 2 is more subtle. This is where you have insurance, you think you are covered, and then you discover all the ways the machine takes your money without delivering what you expected. Surprise out-of-network charges, deductibles that reset every January, co-pays that add up, procedures that are covered in theory but denied in practice. You did everything right and you still got financially punished. This is the level that causes psychological damage beyond the financial damage because it erodes trust in planning itself. Level 3 is the one almost nobody talks about. This is the second-order effect. It is not the cost of the medical event. It is what the cost of the medical event prevents. It prevents the emergency fund from building. It prevents the investment account from compounding. It prevents the risk-taking that actually generates wealth. At level 3, healthcare costs do not just drain your present. They edit your financial future. More than 62% of personal bankruptcies are related to medical bills or income loss from illness or caregiving. 62% of personal bankruptcies, not credit card debt, not failed business ventures. Medical bills, the leading cause of financial destruction in this country, is getting sick or staying sick. And here is the reversal I want you to sit with. You think the problem is that healthcare is expensive, but actually the problem is that the structure of the system turns every health event into a financial event with unpredictable magnitude at a life stage when you have the fewest resources to absorb that shock. The cost is a symptom. The structure is the disease. And this feels like a good moment to say, if you are watching this and you find this useful, subscribe. I go deep on systems like this every week. The financial stuff that actually matters for your age bracket and your situation, not generic advice. Systems analysis, that is what this channel is. Let me give you a mini case study. Completely fictionalized but grounded in the patterns I have observed repeatedly. Call him Marcus, 24 years old, moved to Denver for a tech job paying $52,000 a year. Smart guy. He read enough personal finance content to know he should invest in his company's 401k, which he does at 6% to get the employer match. He has maybe $400 a month of disposable income after rent, food, and basic expenses. His company offers 2 health plans. Plan A is a traditional plan with a $300 monthly premium and a $2,000 deductible. Plan B is a high deductible plan with a $180 monthly premium and a $6,500 deductible. Marcus does what most healthy 24-year-olds would do. He picks Plan B. He saves $120 a month. Over a year, that is $1,440 in savings. Logical. He is healthy. Nothing is going to happen. 8 months into the year, he falls off his mountain bike. Nothing catastrophic. A fractured wrist, 1 ER visit, 1 orthopedic consultation, 1 follow-up X-ray, a cast, and some physical therapy. Total bill from the providers, $7,800. He has paid roughly $1,140 in premiums by this point in the year. His deductible is $6,500. So, the insurance kicks in only after he pays $6,500 out of pocket. The total on him, approximately $6,500. Maybe a little more with co-pays on the follow-up visits. He does not have $6,500 in cash. He has about $2,000 in a savings account and $400 in his 401k. He puts $3,000 on a credit card at 22% April and borrows the rest from his parents. The monthly minimum payment on that $3,000 at 22% is about $85. At minimums, it takes him 4 years to pay off. He pays roughly $1,600 in interest on top of the principal. Total real cost of a mountain bike accident, more than $8,000 and 4 years of slightly constrained cash flow. More importantly, during those 4 years, those $85 a month were not going into an index fund. They were not compounding. An average market return of about 8% annually, $85 a month over 4 years becomes roughly $5,000. So, the opportunity cost of that single medical event, properly accounted for, is closer to $13,000 in total real terms wealth destruction for a fractured wrist. That is level 3. The vending machine does not just charge you at a register, it charges you interest on the charge, and it charges you the cost of all the future wealth you could not build while you were paying it off. Now, I want to go somewhere slightly uncomfortable because I think most healthcare cost conversations stop too early and therefore miss the actual mechanism. People say healthcare is too expensive, the system is broken, someone should fix it. Fine, true. But that framing makes you feel like a victim of external forces, and it does not help you think clearly about decisions you can actually make. Here is a more useful framing. The vending machine has structural rules that most people do not read until they need something out of it. And by the time you need something out of it, you are not in a position to negotiate the rules. The leverage point is before the event, always. That is how every financial risk works. Let me give you an incentive analysis here, because this is where it gets a little dark. An estimated $194 to debt is currently in active collections, making it one of the largest sources of consumer debt in the country. Medical debt accounts for about 58% of all debt in collections, more than any other type of consumer debt. Think about that, more than any other type. More than credit cards, more than auto loans, more than student debt in collections. There is an entire industry built around collecting money from sick people, hospital systems, insurance companies, debt collection agencies, and private equity firms that buy medical debt for pennies on the dollar and then try to collect the full amount. Each one of these entities has a rational financial incentive for the current system to continue exactly as it is. None of them benefits from you being fully covered and never incurring debt. I am not saying anyone is evil. I am saying incentives are real, they are powerful, and when you understand them, the system's behavior stops being confusing. The machine was not designed for you. It was designed for the entities that own the machine. One credit report out of 5 contains a medical collection debt. That is a larger percentage than student loan and credit card debt put together. 1 in 5 credit reports. And the medical collection on your credit report does not just feel bad. It changes your access to capital. It affects your ability to get a mortgage, a car loan, sometimes even a rental apartment. So, the single event cascades. The fractured wrist is now also affecting your ability to build housing equity. The vending machine era has contaminated the rest of the financial system. Here is the comedic cutaway because we need it at this point in the video. Imagine telling someone from a wealthy country in Northern Europe what American health insurance actually is. So, let me understand. You pay monthly to have access to the insurance. Then there is a separate amount you pay before the insurance does anything. Then even after that, there is a percentage you pay. And sometimes the provider is out of network and you pay the full amount anyway, even though you were unconscious when you agreed to use them. And if you do not pay the balance, the hospital sells it to another company and that company can ruin your credit score. Correct. And people are okay with this. They are used to it. That is not the same thing. I know. Let me get into the psychological layer because this is actually where the real money destruction happens and almost no one talks about it. There is a concept in behavioral economics called catastrophic risk aversion. When people fear a catastrophic loss, they start making suboptimal decisions in every other area of their financial life to protect against that risk. They keep too much cash. They avoid investing. They take fewer career risks. They say no to opportunities because they are quietly, subconsciously terrified of being one medical event away from financial collapse. And here is the thing, that fear is not irrational. It is accurate. The threat is real. The vending machine really does eat people. But the response to that fear, chronically over-saving in cash and under-investing in productive assets, compounds the damage. It means the healthcare system costs you money twice. Once when something goes wrong, and once every day that you live in quiet financial fear of something going wrong. Over half, 52% of Gen Z respondents said that debt is on their mind most or all of the time. 52% of an entire generation with debt as a persistent background thought. That is not just a financial statistic. That is a cognitive load statistic. That is 52% of your generation running a background process all day long that consumes attention, creativity, and risk tolerance. Resources that would otherwise go toward building something. High medical costs are having a direct impact on people's health decisions. An estimated 36% of adults delayed non-vital medical checkups or treatments during 2024 and 2025 due to money issues. Now, think about that for a second. People are delaying the preventive care that would prevent the large expensive event because they cannot afford the small cheap event. It is like refusing to put a $10 part in your car's engine because you are trying to save money, and then the engine fails and the repair costs $4,000. The vending machine's pricing is so misaligned that it causes exactly the behavior that makes future costs worse. This is the second reversal that I want you to internalize. You think delaying care saves money, but the system is designed in a way that makes delaying care the most expensive possible choice over a long enough timeline. Let me do the math on something that almost never gets talked about in these conversations. An estimated $44 billion in retirement savings is withdrawn annually to cover healthcare costs not covered by insurance. $44 billion a year coming out accounts to pay for medical bills. Here is why that number is more horrifying than it looks. When you withdraw from a retirement account early, you generally pay taxes plus a 10% penalty. So, if someone withdraws $20,000 from their 401k to pay a medical bill, they might actually receive only $13,000 or $14,000 after taxes and penalties. They destroyed $20,000 of future value to receive $13,000 in cash to pay a bill that might have been negotiable in the first place. And the compounding destruction. $20,000 left in a retirement account at age 30 growing at 8% annually becomes roughly $200,000 by age 65. That medical withdrawal at 30 did not cost $20,000. It cost $200,000 in future purchasing power. The vending machine does not just charge you for today's visit. It charges you for the retirement you are going to have. 31 million Americans reported having to borrow money to pay for health care either for themselves or for a household member in a single recent year. 31 million people borrowing money in a single year to pay for health events. And of those who borrowed, nearly 6 in 10 borrowed $500 or more. That is not a minor inconvenience. That is a structural wealth transfer. Money flowing from the people least able to absorb losses toward the entities best positioned to extract it. Now, here is the second comedic cutaway because the numbers are getting heavy and I need you to keep watching. Internal monologue of a 23-year-old reading their first explanation of benefits after an ER visit. Okay, so the bill amount was $4,200. Okay. The contracted rate reduced it to $2,800. Good. So, I pay $2,800. Reads further. The amount applied to my deductible is $2,800. Right. And my deductible is $3,000. So, I pay $2,800. Reads further. Co-insurance after deductible 20%. But I have not hit my deductible yet. Reads the footnote. This visit was processed as out-of-network because the on-call physician was not in your plan's network. The on-call physician, who they did not choose, who walked into the room while they were on a gurney, that physician. So, I pay full price? No, you pay the out-of-network rate, which is 80% of the bill amount before the contracted rate. So, I pay more than if I had no insurance at all? Yes. Got it. Let me bring this all the way up to the current structural moment because I want to give you a real picture of where things stand right now. In early 2026, the enhanced ACA subsidies have expired as of December 31, 2025, which will increase premiums 114% for 22 million Americans, costing an additional $1,016 annually on average. That is in addition to the existing cost, on top of premiums that were already pricing out young adults. With enhanced subsidies gone, healthier people are more likely to drop coverage when prices jump, leaving insurers covering customers who need more medical care. This shift alone pushed premiums up by as much as 14 percentage points in some areas. This is called adverse selection, and it is a self-reinforcing feedback loop. Healthy people leave because it is too expensive. That makes the risk pool sicker on average. So, insurers raise prices to compensate, which makes it too expensive for the next layer of healthy people who leave, and so on. The vending machine is repricing itself upward in real time, and the people who most need it to be affordable are exactly most likely to walk away from it first. Healthcare is projected to remain a drag on United States GDP in the next decade, driven by an aging population, increasing use of new drug categories, and price increases that outpace inflation. So, the structural forces are working against you, not because of any conspiracy, not because anyone sat in a room and decided Gen Z specifically would get hurt, but because the system's incentive structure it produces outcomes that favor incumbents, that push costs onto individuals, and that price out the youngest and most financially fragile participants first. Now, let me give you something useful. 3 things you can actually do with this information. Not generic advice, not shop around for better insurance, specific structural moves. The first one is about the deductible math. Most people pick their health insurance plan based on the monthly premium. The cheaper the premium, the better. This is the wrong calculation. You need to do the annual math with expected usage. A plan with a $200 monthly premium and a $6,000 deductible costs you $8,400 before you reach meaningful coverage. A plan with a $350 monthly premium and a $1,500 costs you $5,700 to the same point. The cheaper premium is actually the more expensive plan if you have even one medical event per year. Most people never do this math. Do the math. The second one is about the health savings account structure. If you do choose a high deductible plan, a health savings account is the most tax-advantaged account in the entire American financial system. Contributions are pre-tax, growth is tax-free, withdrawals for qualified medical expenses are tax-free. That is a triple tax advantage that no other account offers. Not your 401k, not your Roth IRA. The strategic play if you are young and healthy and you choose a high deductible plan is to fund the health savings account to the annual maximum, invest it in index funds, and leave it alone. You are building a dedicated medical emergency fund that grows tax-free. The vending machine has a small side door. That account is the side door. The third one is the most counterintuitive. It is about what medical debt is and is not. 2/3 of medical debts result from a one-time or short-term medical expense. These are almost always negotiable. Hospitals have what are called financial assistance programs, sometimes called charity care, and they are legally required in many states to offer them to people below certain income thresholds. Almost nobody asks. The hospital bills the full amount, you assume it is fixed, you put it on a credit card, but medical debt is probably the most negotiable form of debt that exists. You can call the billing department, explain your financial situation, and in many cases reduce the bill by 30 to 60% before you pay anything. The vending machine often has a negotiation menu that is only visible if you ask. None of these are silver bullets. None of them fix the structural problem. The structural problem is that the system's incentives are misaligned with your financial well-being at a critical compounding stage of your life, but you are not going to fix the structure from where you sit. What you can do is understand the machine's rules well enough to lose less money inside it. Let me bring this back to where we started. A 22-year-old doing everything right, 2 jobs, budget discipline, living below his means, and one random event breaks through all of it because the system he is operating inside was never designed to protect him from financial destruction. It was designed to transfer risk from institutions to individuals, to price access based on what the market will bear, and to generate returns for shareholders inside that structure. That is not a moral judgment. That is a description of incentives. The burden of healthcare costs is extensive and runs deep. Even when accounting for coverage type, these cost burdens hit people as they obtain and maintain health coverage, as well as when they need care. Regardless of coverage status and type and income level, people are shouldering medical debt that is driving them to manage it in a variety of ways. You are not broke because you are lazy. You are not uninsured because you are irresponsible. You are navigating a system that structurally disadvantages people at your life stage because you have the least political capital, the least accumulated wealth, and the least ability to absorb variance. The machine's design is working as intended. The question is whether you understand the machine well enough to protect yourself inside it. There are 3 things I want you to remember when you walk away from this video. 1. Never calculate health insurance value based on the monthly premium alone. Always run the total annual exposure math, premium plus maximum out of pocket, and compare that number against your actual liquid savings. If your maximum out of pocket exceeds your total savings, you are not actually insured in any meaningful sense. You are one event away from debt, regardless of what card you carry in your wallet. 2. If you're on a high deductible plan, open and max a health savings account before almost anything else. The tax advantages are structural and permanent. The money does not expire, it does not reset at the end of the year, and unlike a flexible spending account, it can be invested, it compounds. Use the machine's side door while it still exists. 3. If you receive a medical bill you cannot pay, do not pay it immediately and do not put it on a credit card before negotiating. Call the billing department, ask about financial assistance programs, ask for an itemized bill, and look for errors. Medical billing errors are common and advocates or billing departments may be able to reduce charges by finding errors, getting fees waived, or arguing that the charges are too high for certain procedures. Medical debt is unlike almost every other form of debt. It has the widest range of negotiability. The number on the bill is a starting position, not a final answer. Treat it accordingly. The vending machine is going to keep operating. The incentives that built it are not changing soon. What changes is how much you lose inside it. Subscribe if you want to keep understanding systems like this.